hid behind stone. For centuries, the fortress was mankind's final argument: stone against chaos, permanence against time. But in the age of Genghis Khan, the wind changed shape. The steppe learned to think, to plan, to build engines that devour empires. A tide of horsemen became a machine of method, a storm that studies before it strikes. They did not merely break walls, they unmade the idea of safety. Behold the Mongol siege train, where patience is a weapon and terror is engineered.
Of the Horde.
Early 13th century.
Static defense.
The map divides the world into stone and sky, cities that wait, riders that move. Temujin reads the fault line where cavalry speed dies on masonry. He answers with ruthless clarity. Take what you lack and make it move. Engineers spared, artisans sorted, masters of metal and timber bound to the ordu. A roaming brain trust forms: Persian precision, Chinese calculus, steppe discipline. Not a horde beside machines, but a civilization in motion that carries its own city breakers.
By the strength of eternal heaven, I have achieved supreme power.
We must consider the eastern flank.
The fortifications are strongest there.
Begins with silence. Mongol sealing roads, horizons closing like a fist. The Ordu anchors beyond your reach and inside your thoughts. Fields burn, wells sour, and the envoy's voice is the only river left. Submit or be erased. Timber falls. A plane becomes a factory. Frames rising, winches coiling, arms poised. Mangonels scour the parapets. Counterweight trebuchets teach stone the weight of fear. The city watches its future assembled piece by disciplined piece.
Prepare the siege engines!
Hashar mass levy. Indistinguishable in purpose, united in service.
Hashar churned the moats into ramps. Labor stolen from the living to bury the living. Arrows knit the air. Ballistae bite. Defenders spend bolts and courage. Underground, sappers whisper with timber and pitch, turning foundations into tinder. Above, the trebuchets strike one wound until stone learns fatigue. Horns divide the sky. Weaker, slip the breach. Not for streets, but gatehouses. The city's veins, tomb and flow like arithmetic. Artisans spared and sorted. Archives turned to weather. Memory to smoke.
Fall in line! Move! Please! No!
Help us! Help us! We're afraid! So afraid!
What remains is quiet and heat, but the lesson is loud. Static pride is obsolete. Permanence is only a story stones tell themselves. Castles answer with depth. Concentric skins, rounded towers, murderous gates. Mamluk bastions harden. The Ming raise a wall of brick and vow. Knowledge crosses borders faster than armies. Techniques migrate, empires adapt or fall. Strategy becomes sentence. Adapt and live. Refuse and vanish. The verdict that reshapes the map.
Fall of Kiev, 1240.
shattered, have turned to dust, but the echo remains. Every fortress built since has whispered the same quiet prayer. May the storm never return. Yet the storm was never truly gone. It became memory, doctrine, architecture. In every bastion, in every blueprint, the shadow of the Mongol siege train still breathes. They prove that innovation is born not from peace, but from terror understood. Walls still rise, higher and stronger, but each stone carries that ancient truth, that no defense is eternal, and no empire untouchable. In the silence after conquest, history listens, and the world still trembles when the wind shifts east.